Once upon a time, there was a noble land called Pennsylvania. It had so much cause for pride. Verdant farms, red brick cities, colleges and culture, industrious residents, and above all, a glorious legacy as the place where America was invented. But Pennsylvania had a problem. In the birthplace of democracy, the home of the Gettysburg Address, government of, by, and for the people had gone awry. It was haunted by a stealthy beast with a strange name, the gerrymander. Working in shadows, the gerrymander mutilated the maps the state used to hold its elections. It left those maps in jagged tatters that made no sense to voters. The gerrymander's handiwork did have a twisted logic. Its aim to benefit its masters, the incumbent politicians, and their goal was to make sure they never lost an election. Simply put, to cheat voters and democracy.
Well, gerrymandering itself is something that I think many of us probably heard somewhere in a civics class. And we know at its core that it erodes the whole issue of one man, one woman, one vote.
We use this analogy that elections and campaigns are like job interviews, where the candidate is applying for a job and the voters are essentially the hiring committee. Well, what's happened over the years is because of gerrymandering, it's allowed the candidates for office to choose the hiring committee. Those people in, those people out. Include them, exclude others. So that, in short, is the power that's embedded in drawing maps.
For a long time, this cheating worked, and Pennsylvania suffered. Then a few years ago, across the Commonwealth, ordinary people began to notice those bizarre maps and the damage they did. And they began to band together in a quest to slay the gerrymander. One such group was Draw the Lines PA, started by the Committee of 70. Its notion was simple. The gerrymander thrived because people didn't know how election mapping really worked.
I think increasingly we've come to understand how important it is to give our citizens a kind of a hands-on, roll-up-your-sleeve experience in changing and reforming and improving our local democracy. And Draw the Lines is a participatory process where thousands of Pennsylvanians could literally take the mouse into their own hand and draw their own congressional and legislative maps.
So, with games and slides, crayons and charts, Draw the Lines ventured all across the state, summoning people to the work. In high schools and taverns, fancy conferences and family rooms, college campuses and public libraries, people responded. They played the games, learned the jargon, mastered the district builder software, and they made maps. By the thousands, they made maps. Maps reflecting their sense of fairness. Maps proving that Pennsylvanians are ready, willing, and able to do this core task of democracy. Who were these mappers? They were high schoolers.
Personally, I think that the most important thing, obviously, is to have our representatives and our districts really reflect the populations of our state. So
they were college students.
We tried to strive for compactness and a little bit of competitiveness, but mainly keeping communities of interest together. And I think
they were artists and computer geeks and advocates who saw how the gerrymander had harmed the people. A key part of the effort were the teachers and professors who put the Draw the Lines challenge to their students.
Well, I would hope that the students take away from the course a sense of community and a sense of participation and a sense of what they call efficacy, that their participation does in fact matter. So I think lawmakers, when they look at students who have participated or competed, what they should see is that the students are engaged in a level that I don't think has been done before.
I think undoubtedly what excites me about Draw the Lines is the energy and excitement of young people. I mean, face it, the future of America is in young people, and I'm encouraged in what I see about the young people who have participated, high school students, college students, not only the passion that they bring to it and the skill that they bring to it, but I'm particularly impressed by the eloquence and the articulation of their passion.
The mappers took their work to their elected lawmakers to let them know that gerrymander's days were numbered. Twice, Draw the Lines filled the rotunda at the state capitol in Harrisburg, honoring its best mappers with big prizes and showing the powers that be that Pennsylvanians were done with having their democracy sliced and diced by cheaters. And even when the coronavirus kept one such rally from happening, the people of Draw the Lines flocked to Zoom to send the message.
The entire concept of gerrymandering effectively deprives people of an equal vote, which I think is absolutely disastrous for any democracy.
If we don't have representatives that are running in elections where the opponent is forcing them to think creatively about an issue or differently about an issue or reflect more on the issues, then we're never really going to get anywhere.
As a voter, a new voter, I think that there's really a lot that we can do as voters.
Get in touch with your local representatives. We do live in a representative democracy. Your vote does matter. You do have sway on the people that you put in office. They work for you. It's time to remind them of that.
Places in the past have moved towards independent redistricting commissions, and we've seen it work. And I think that should give us hope that we are able to do this ourselves.
I think people know so much more about gerrymandering and its problems than they did before, and they should put as much pressure as they can on their elected officials to draw fair districts at every level.
As 2021 nears and election maps are to be drawn anew, Draw the Lines mappers are determined to make their hard work lead to better process and fairer outcomes. Draw the Lines PA shows what can happen when ordinary citizens regain a sense of ownership and mastery over the levers of democracy. When they say, no more cheating. From here on in, we draw the lines.
In Pennsylvania, the gerrymander may not yet be fully slain, but it is definitely wounded and on the run. So now, let us finish the job.